Okay, guys, fun one for you today. For anybody who has ever suffered anything in the shoulder, whether you're doing the overhead, you're doing something like a snatch, an Olympic lift snatch, you're doing an overhead press, you're crawling on the ground on a regular basis, or just shoulder press, it's important that we understand one, a good warm up, and two, a good accessory finisher to make sure we've got all the control through that shoulder joint to keep doing the heavy, powerful, and explosive things that we want to be doing without slowly developing chronic issues at the shoulder. So a couple things that we love over here. We want to find a nice light mini band and creating this isometric external rotation against the band, driving the knuckles out and the elbows underneath the wrists. Okay. The best way to start this is to have the foam roller placed against the mirror here or against a wall. I'm creating as much external rotation on that band as I can. It's wrapped around the outside of my hands, and I'm driving those elbows in, and as I press up over my head, I'm keeping that pressure on the band, tucking my head underneath the foam roller, up and down. And my goal throughout this is to not allow the band to pull my hands in, elbows out. So I don't want to be diving into that internal rotation here, where we often get as we fatigue, as we come out of that press, we want to maintain that external rotation on the band as you press up over your head, okay? Doing it with the foam roller on the wall is going to make that a little bit easier to start off with. And then you're going to graduate to doing this without the foam roller. So I've got that same external rotation, elbows underneath the wrists as I extend up and into that overhead press, right? And my goal is that, oh, I'm already cooked. My goal is that as I keep that external rotation, I'm gonna press up without allowing that collapse in, right? So a good idea is to kind of keep an eye on yourself in the mirror so that you know as soon as you've created that drop and you can adjust for it, right? So those are two of our favorites there. We've also got a slightly easier one if you've got a long looped band. I love this one for a little bit of priming for anything overhead. So I'm same idea. I'm getting the elbows through as if I'm in that front rack barbell position, right? And then I'm going to press up. And at the top here, at the top of this position, now I'm going to draw a couple circles. Just demonstrate that I have control at the top. And I'm going to work through about 10 of these. And all three of these moves, we want to be doing about 10. And this is just going to do a terrific job picking one or a couple of these to warm up that tissue before you do that big heavy overhead press again, or at the end of a shoulder day where you really want to work on that stability and that control, or your improvement of doing things like a kettlebell bottoms up press where you're fighting for that control in that same position on one side at a time and be able to control that all the way up. And most of us have a inability and a struggle with keeping that elbow in position, externally rotated again, and getting it up over our heads. And the same idea with the overhead press, right? We want to kind of fall to this more comfortable position with that internal rotation where we're often sitting throughout a day, okay? Give these a go, see how they go for you. You're gonna feel that shoulder burn. Pick a light mini band to start off with is my best recommendation. You're gonna feel it no matter what resistance you pick. So cheers, guys.